the Back of the Book segment tonight, so far, 11 Americans have died from the stings of killer bees. Right now, the bees have set up colonies all over the Southwest, including the downtown areas of Los Angeles, San Diego, and Las Vegas. However, there is no truth to the rumor they are opening for Wayne Newton. I recently spoke to killer bee expert Lance Davis about the situation. So, Mr. Davis, are these bees a public health hazard?
Yeah, they are in a certain situation if you mess with them by spraying them with pesticides. If they're in the structure of in your house or in in a wall void or soffit of a commercial structure, they can be, yes. If you
All right. Now, how furtive, how sly are these bees? You say they're now in downtown San Diego, where you live, in L.A., in Las Vegas, and obviously Phoenix probably they're around. Can they get into your home easily? Do you know they're there? 11 Americans already dead.
Yeah, it's amazing that people are dying. Usually it's from, honestly, negligence. People hire a pest control operator to come in and spray them. It makes the bees angry. They don't realize when they spray.
Let me stop you there. That's negligence?
Okay.
I mean, in my house, if I had a bunch of bees around, and I'm not a bee guy, I mean, I call you up because I know you now, and you come down and take care of it for me. But, you know, most people say, okay, we got bees. We'll call in the exterminator. And you say, that's negligence?
In a way, because they're realizing about 50 or 60 bees outside of the structure. Inside, there's 50,000 bees, and they're all going to come out and attack you because you can't kill them all with one spray job.
But how is a civilian going to know that? How is a person in Burbank or Pasadena or Henderson, Nevada, going to know that?
You're absolutely right. They don't. The education is very poor and lax on this, and it needs to be put out there in a way that it can be actually promoted in a way that it can be.
All right. Now, that's your job to do. Let's walk through this thing.
Certainly.
Bees are all over America. I mean, wherever you go, there's bees in the summertime in the warm weather. Can you tell an Africanized killer bee from a regular bee?
Most people cannot. I can, based on their actions and the size, but most people, honeybees are honeybees, and African bees are just honeybees from Africa. They were brought in back in '56 by Warwick Kerr, hired by the Brazilian government because the European bees didn't fare well in a tropical climate.
Okay, so nobody's going to know if the bee's a killer or not. That's the fact, no matter what we do. So, you see a bunch of bees swarming around in your backyard, in your house, in your garage, in your barn, wherever. What do you do?
Right. You wait till they land, because they'll land in a cluster. That's usually a swarm hanging out, actually relocating. That's half of a hive relocating, because they divide their colonies to propagate their numbers. So that would either be that, or if they're in your barn or your home or your structure, you need to call a professional like myself, which there's very few of us. Like maybe I'm like the only one.
All right, so, but you got to give us a little bit more guidance than that.
Okay.
So you call, I would call the public health department. That's what I would do. Would that be a wrong move?
That or the cities in the Southern California region where the bees are real predominant. They'll usually refer us. Actually, all 911 calls in Riverside County, where I live in Palm Desert, actually refer it right to us, and they give them our 800
All right,
number.
so you call 911. That's good. That's a good tip. All right, so you call 911. You guys, look, I got a big bee problem here, and I think that these may be dangerous bees. And they're going to flip them right over to you, and you're going to go out and check them out, right?
Yeah, we give a free estimate, and we go out there and make it happen, give them some good advice, and give them a choice.
All right. Well, that's your business, and hopefully there are other people as knowledgeable as you. Now, you don't kill the bees, do you?
No, actually, we relocate them. We actually do 700 removals out of structures a year in the Coachella Valley.
Wow.
Palm
all
Springs
killer
area.
bees?
80% are killer bees.
Really?
The rest are wild
that
feral
many?
colonies.
I'm stunned.
Yes, they propagate their numbers 5 to 9 times a year. That means they divide their colonies. That's how bees propagate their numbers, by swarming. Swarming is not the act of hurting someone. It's actually dividing the colony.
Okay,
yeah.
So these things are all over the place now. All right, so you call you guys. Now, you say you relocate them. What, do you send them to Argentina or what?
Yeah, we give them a bus ticket. No, actually what we do is clip the queen's wing, because they'll all follow the queen. We locate the queen in the colony when we take the hive apart. Actually cut into a stucco wall, take the hive apart, find the queen, clip her wing, then put them in a regular commercial beehive. First of all, I am a beekeeper. I've been a beekeeper since I was 12. I'm 44. So we put them in a beehive, and then we use them for honey production. So
you find a queen, you clip the queen's wing so it can't fly anyplace.
Exactly.
That must tee off the queen a little bit. Have you ever been stung by these killer bees?
All the time. Yeah, they're just, actually, their sting's less than a bred European.
But so many of them sting you, and you must have a built-up immunity to them now.
A little bit, yeah. I've been doing it a while. But actually, if you know how to handle them, this is the trick. It's my experience that really matters here. I've been handling 33 years.
All right, but my last question, we got to wrap it up. You relocate them where? You take them where?
To the farmlands in this lower Coachella Valley. There's 74,000 acres.
Well, why don't they just come back? Say they liked it in Anaheim. They go, you take them to the valley. They go, hey, thanks, Larry. See you later. I'm going back.
Yeah, well, they can't do that because they only fly about 5 miles, and they actually are put there in a beehive with the queen's wing clipped, and I go ahead and actually harvest the honey because they produce about 5 times more honey. They're disease and mite resistant, and they don't need to be...
And they won't go. They'll stay where you put them if the wings of the queen are clipped.
And you got to give them lots of room because they propagate real fast and they produce a lot of honey.
You have to put a stereo in or anything like that? No, just a Lance.
Yeah,
just kidding with you, Lance. But this is a serious situation. So look, everybody, if you got suspicious bees, call 911, okay? That's simple.
Absolutely.
We don't want anybody else to get hurt. 11 Americans are dead. Hey, Lance, thanks very much. Good to see you.
Thanks for having me.